Okay, so I'm back at the John Deere flip. We're flipping this mower. It's a 1989 to 93 model, so somewhere in that time period. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of expense going into this mower. It's going to be a lot of work, but I don't think we're going to have to spend a lot of money. I've bought a carburetor, that's $20. I'm going to have to buy some bearings for the mower deck, and one side is $20, and this is the worst side, so I might just replace that one. The other side is not near as bad, although it's getting there. I mean, there's a little bit of wiggle, but I would have let that go on my mower if, you know, it was my personal mower. It's just not that bad, but the other side's terrible. So there's $40. And then I'm going to paint it, so $6 a can. We're thinking 3 or 4 cans of various colors, black and primer and green and yellow. So I don't know, probably another 25, 30 bucks there. So under 100 bucks, but I think with the John Deere I'm going to be able to get a higher price than I've been getting out of the Craftsman that I've been flipping. So when I really start to analyze what's going on with this thing, there doesn't seem a lot of work that needs to be done. The two things that I'm most concerned about is the gear shifter doesn't go in reverse, but I think that's a linkage issue, and there's no brakes. Well, that's not a linkage issue. You may not know this, but back here, the brake pad is basically what I would call it, needs tightening occasionally, and I bet that needs tightening. So I'll get in there and tighten it, because it does work. It's moving, it's locking up. So that's the two most concerning things, the brake and the reverse. But again, I think I can fix them. The belts actually look like they're in really good shape for the deck. So does the drive belt. So that's good news. So I'm going to get the deck off. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room so I can get underneath there and play it, fix those two issues. And I'm also going to fix the toe in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend that wheel in. If I have to heat it, I will. Last time I didn't have to heat it, but boy, it took a lot of strength. So the reason I raised it up to take the deck off, normally I don't do that, is I've never taken this particular model's deck off before. So I had to see what was going on. It doesn't look too hard, actually. It looks really simple compared to the newer ones. You got a pin on both sides here, and you got a pin on both sides down here. So I'm going to take it off and see what happens. Alright, I'm going to put some penetrating oil on these nuts here, nuts and bolts, because this is the side that needs to come off. See, huge difference between the two. Try to save these nuts and bolts, or at least so they don't break. Well, I'm going to do this one just in case I decide to change it, but I don't think I'm going to. Okay, so this bar here is broke off. I don't know where exactly it used to attach to, but it's definitely broke. It's not designed to be hanging out there halfway across. So I have another bar on an old lawnmower. I'll cut it off and I'll weld that. I do wish I could figure out where I'm supposed to weld it to, but I guess it doesn't matter. And then right here, there's a big gaping hole. So I'll bend that back in, take this wheel off, I think. Anyway, I'll figure out a way to bend that back in, clean it up, and I'll weld it from the inside. Yeah, hardly even noticeable from the outside, but that way it looks like somebody had the wrong blade on or something and whacked it. The blades actually look like they're in pretty good shape. They don't look bent. So hopefully I can get that bolt out and we'll be able to, I might put some penetrating oil on that also. You never see that on an old mower. The paint's still existing on the bottom side. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to lower it down onto the jack stands so we can work on that wheel. I like these older caps. They come off a lot easier. At least they did last night. Instead of that rubber cap, this little plastic cap just slides on. All right, there's supposed to be a retaining clip in here, but there's a lot of grease, so I got to find it. So now we can get the tire off. Okay, so now we got the tire off. So what we're going to do is try to bend this bar towards me. So we're going to stick this pipe here, and then I got this silly looking monkey wrench that I got at a yard sale one time, and you're supposed to have a pipe wrench, but this works just like a pipe wrench. Well, sort of. Well, it's actually, I guess, considered a pipe wrench, but not the claw, you know, one with the teeth. This has no teeth on it. Pipe wrench with no teeth. How about that? Okay, so I went ahead and decided to heat it up because it was just too much. I've also bought myself a pipe wrench, and I'm using this wrench here to pull. It is coming. It's close. I'm very close to getting it to the right position. So this might be the last time I have to pull it. I know that you've missed a lot of the action, but I didn't figure you wanted to sit here and watch me heat the thing up, pull, heat the thing up, pull. This one is a lot stronger than any of the newer ones that I've done. This metal is much tougher. So again, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it in the camera, but I got it. If anything, I may have taken it a little bit too far, but it definitely is in the correct spot, or it's definitely pulled in now, so much better. Okay, so my guess was correct on the reverse. The linkage is not going far enough back. When I take it apart like this, I don't know if you can really see it, but when I take it apart, I can jam it into reverse. So I'll demonstrate by simply, you can see that it's in gear. So I'll just hit the starter real quick. You'll see it moved backwards. So we have reverse. So I just got to figure out how to get this to come back further to engage reverse. So what I'm going to do is take this off this panel and maybe cut this piece of metal back a little further, see if that will give it enough travel. I'm not really sure why it's so loose. Okay, I got the shifter to work. I'm super gluing this case here, so it goes into reverse now. So that's a step in the right direction. So then I took off the brake pad, and that's back here, and there's no way I'm going to get the camera to show you what's going on. So I'll try to show you off of it. So this hooks up to the axle. This is the brake caliper. So this is the brake pad, this is the brake caliper. And so when you pull the linkage on your, it turns this thing. And you can see maybe that this is bent. So what you have is you have two dowel rods that go inside these holes. And when you turn this, it's bent. It pushes those dowel rods up against the brake pad. Should have mentioned that there's also a brake pad that goes in between those pins and the caliper. There's a little small brake pad. I dropped it and had forgotten about it. So that means that all the major things that I was worried about are fixed. Just waiting on the carburetor. We can get it painted up now, fix this brake. No, it's not fixed, but at least have a solution, an idea of a solution. And then we can paint it up and put it up for sale. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where it's working on something. So I hope I can inspire you to get through your day when you're living your dreams. Thanks for watching.